to the floor. Last Friday against Providence, Schickel recorded her 1,000th career rebound. Currently, Schickel sits at second on Butler's all-time rebounding list and needs just 31 more rebounds to become Butler's all-time leading rebounder. Congratulations, Tori. Fans, let's give another round of applause for Tori Schickel for collecting her 1,000th career rebound. At this time, we ask that you please rise as we honor America with the performing of our national anthem, performed tonight by the Westfield Middle School Choir. Now let's meet the starting lineup. First for the visiting.
A monumental weekend for Butler women's basketball inside Hinkle Fieldhouse. First of two big matchups on the Big East Digital Network this weekend. DePaul, who has won all 15 matchups with Butler, comes in 2 games behind the Bulldogs. Top of the standing showdown between the Bulldogs and Blue Demons here on the Big East Digital Network. Hi, everybody, with former Butler standout Blair Langlois. I'm Will Haskett. So glad that you could be along with us for this one. Blair, there is an energy inside Hinkle Fieldhouse for this showdown tonight because of what Butler has done this year. 16-2 on the season, just 1 loss at this juncture of the Big East play. There's a buzz around this program here in 2019.
There definitely is. They've had a terrific season so far. They're looking for some 2 signature wins this weekend, and starting tonight, DePaul will be a great win for them.
Well, you talk about those signature wins because the blue blood programs of the Big East are coming into Hinkle Fieldhouse, including this DePaul team, winners of 3 consecutive Big East Conference championships, 5 regular season championships. You take a look there, Blair, at the standings. This is a big one for DePaul tonight to reassert themselves as one of the teams to beat. 2 games behind Butler entering the matchup tonight.
DePaul is definitely looking for a win tonight. They're a couple games back, and this would definitely help them move up in the standings. They know how to win. They're champions, so look for them to come out strong tonight.
Indiana, number 15.
Obviously an important showdown between these two teams. This is how they will start things up. Two teams that will rely on senior leadership and a lot of returning pieces from successful seasons a year ago. Blair, first for the Blue Demons of DePaul. 4 of their 5 starters returned from a year ago. The leading scorer on this team kind of has ebbed and flowed this year. Shante Stonewall leads the way at 13.2 points per game. But this is a balanced lineup that needs somebody maybe to step ahead and take the leadership role from a scoring standpoint.
Let's look to Ashton Millender tonight. She's averaging 13.1 points a game. I'm looking for her to step back up, hit down some threes early, and look for her to lead the Blue Devils tonight.
On the other side for Butler, all 5 starters back from a year ago, but it's really been the infusion of new bodies, including Kat Strong, the transfer from BCU, into the starting lineup this year. Coming off a career-high 23 points against Creighton, she's averaging 12.4 a game in Big East play. She's taken some of the load off of Whitney Jennings and Tori Schickel, but well, make no mistake about it, this is still Jennings and Schickel 1 and 2 for Butler, the 2 seniors carrying the offensive load.
They definitely are. I think Butler will look to them early. Kat Strong gets a lot of early touches in the post too. She's become quite the factor for Butler recently, stepping up and scoring when they need her.
Again, Butler 16 and 2 on the year. They have not lost here inside Hinkle Fieldhouse. They're a perfect 9-0. They are guaranteed their first winning season since all the way back in 2012-2013. There has been local media attention now around this team this week, coming into this weekend. They've taken a 1 game at a time sort of mantra and approach, Blair, to getting set for this weekend. But even head coach Gert Godlewski knows this is a game that is going to be very important if this team is going to take the next step into the second half of the season. You take a look at our officials, but a huge matchup against a team that Butler's never won a game against. 0-15. This is a statement perhaps for both teams entering this game here tonight.
Yes. DePaul is one tough team, 15 straight wins against Butler. This would be huge for Butler to get a win tonight.
Scramble off the opening tip. Jump ball, there was no possession off of the opening tip. They're going to probably have to jump it again. You saw the officials. Crew chief is Joseph Vasili. Head coach Doug Bruno for DePaul claiming that there was possession on the floor with Shante Stonewall. The referees disagree. We'll just do the whole thing all over again. 6 seconds into the contest. And finally, possession will belong to Butler. Lob low, too strong. Kat Strong trying to go to Schickel. First turnover for Butler. 2 different approaches to basketball this season. Butler strong defensively. On the year 4th in the nation, allowing just 52 points per game, while DePaul scores at an 82% a game clip. That is 11th best in the nation. Something has to give between these 2 programs here tonight. Strong defense by Kat Strong. Finally giving it up. Kelly Campbell runs the point. 7 to shoot. Stovall. Too strong on the floater, and Schickel got enough of it for Michelle Weaver to control. DePaul will try and pressure the ball as well throughout the course of this. Butler is turnover prone. Their one real Achilles heel this year, giving it away 17 times a game. Schickel off a low screen from Strong. Good patience up and under, Blair.
You can see Butler went to Tori twice in the first 2 possessions. I think that's how the game's going to be played out.
First points for Schickel moves her into 4th all-time in the Butler scoring list and gets the steal off the poor entry pass from Stonewall. Butler showing a little bit of tempo in the open floor. Spolier had it knocked away, but they say last off of her knee. Norma Jones comes in from the outside to discuss things, asking if there was a deflection, and they will reverse the call. Spolier pled her case and got the benefit from the outside official who said, yes, that ball was poked away from behind. You be the judge. It was poked and it did not touch Spolier. That's the correct overturn. Right back to Schickel. Drew 3 defenders. Weaver spotted up.
DePaul sending that double team early tonight.
And Butler's going to have to hit outside shots. Just a 29% three-point shooting team. Foul whistled on Schickel underneath just 2 minutes into the game. Loose ball trying to go for the rebound. Right through the defense, and the first bucket belongs to Stovall.
You can see DePaul's getting up in that full court press early in the game here to try to speed up Butler.
Maya Stovall just averaging less than a point a game. That's just her 3rd field goal made of the year, and this is her 15th game for DePaul. And as she greeted Schickel on the switch, commits the foul.
Foul is on the Blue Demons.
Well, you said it. Butler's going to try and feed Schickel early and often in this game. And again, defensively, what can they try and do on the other end to slow DePaul down?
They're going to have to get up in DePaul. They're going to have to play the screens very well. DePaul will throw it in the center and make dives. They're just going to have to defend all the movement that DePaul has on offense.
Jennings can't discard the defense, but found Spolier on the wing. That one unfriendly on the bounce. Butler has missed both of its 2 attempts from outside the arc. Good transition look, and Schickel commits the foul, and that will be her 2nd as Marte Grays was driving. And that is the worst case scenario start for Butler, with Tori Schickel picking up 2 quickies here, not even 2.5 minutes in.
This is what Butler tries to avoid every game. Tori's in the paint, but she's there to help and rebound, not to pick up fouls. This could be a huge turning point in the game for Butler.
And Coach Kurt Godlewski does not go to the bench, leaving Schickel out there with 2 fouls.
I think he has to trust his senior and know that she knows how to play with 2 fouls this many games into her career.
Grays missed them both, but hustle on the inbound. Millender with the steal. And Stovall has all 4 of DePaul's points. And Millender commits a foul on Strong. Butler's only lost at the Big East game last week. A road loss at Providence, triple overtime heartbreaker against the Friars, in which 4 of Butler's 5 starters fouled out of that game. Schickel picked up 2 very quick fouls in that one and really couldn't become a factor in the contest. And Butler hoping a week later it's not a mirror image start to this game.
DePaul knows the keys to the game are attacking Tori defensively and trying to get her out of the game early.
Tough turnaround by Kat Strong. And then a foul underneath on Shante Stonewall, fighting for the loose ball rebound. Keeps the possession here for Butler. Is that not the shot I think the Butler bench wanted to see from Kat Strong, fading away from 10 feet?
Yeah, they want her on the block. She has a really pretty turnaround move, but not that far from the basket. They want her a little closer in.
DePaul really making it hard on Butler's guards out front, but Strong, that's more of the strength inside for Kat Strong.
Yeah, you can still, she still fades away, but that's her move inside. She creates space and is able to lift up over the defender.
Spolier clears the quick miss from Stonewall. 3.5 in. Whitney Jennings has not attempted a shot yet for Butler. Weaver, that pass too low for her, and then couldn't corral it in off the deflection from Stonewall. Good active hands from the 6'1" junior for DePaul, really making life difficult right now for Butler on the injury.
Substitution for DePaul, 24,
DePaul's bringing a ton of energy on defense. They're trying to create those turnovers, getting tips, getting out and running on offense.
Good set piece. First 3 missed by Millender. And that will be something to watch for DePaul, as they have gone cold the last couple of weeks in Big East play on that 3-point shot. Schickel triple teamed. Strong, just a 33% 3-point shooter, doesn't put a whole lot of them up. And neither team able to find from range yet. Good entry pass, Stonewall and one. Ashton Millender set it up. Quick ball movement by DePaul and really probing that Butler defense here in the early going, not relying on the outside shot.
Into the game for the Dogs, 23, Shea Bry and 10, Ida Caceres.
Butler will go to the bench. Shea Bry is in for the first time, along with Nida Caceres for Butler. First sub in for DePaul, Lexi Held talented freshman that is seeing more and more time in Coach Doug Bruno's lineup. And surprising, even with Shea Bry in for Butler, Tori Schickel stays on the floor for the Bulldogs with those 2 fouls. Pressure applied. Weaver beats it quickly. Caceres had a 2-on-1, but backs it out.
DePaul's in a 2-3 zone, pressing and getting back.
Caceres is able to drive through it for her first bucket. And on the drive before the steal, Millender was fouled.
11,
Michelle Weaver picks up her first.
Team's fourth. In for DePaul, number 0, Rebecca Dahlman.
Rebecca Dahlman in for the first time for DePaul. Stonewall in a mismatch. Probably could have driven it at Jennings instead. Settled for the 15-footer.
DePaul's picking up Butler full court. They don't want to give Butler and Coach Godleski the chance to make a play call. They want to get up at Whitney Jennings' face and make her bring the ball up 85.
Great steal by Shea Bry for her first bucket. No one picks up Dahlman in transition, but missed almost everything. Butler trying to run. Weaver. Good find out to Jennings. Schickel had to be careful on the back of another rebounder, and then makes a great find to Bry, who has back-to-back buckets for Butler's first lead. Six 0 spurt for Butler. Bry was daring the drive. DePaul misses for the second time. And a foul whistled underneath on Held, holding off Schickel and the rebound. Butler weathers some early foul trouble, but has a 2-point lead in this pivotal Big East showdown.
11, Sonia Morris, and 35, Marte Gray. It's now.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
6-0 spurt has Butler up 10-8. Big East showdown with DePaul on a Friday night. With Blair Langlois, I'm Will Haskett. Third member of our broadcast team this evening is Sam Wiederhaft.
Well, thanks, guys. Just last season, this same Butler team went 6-12 in conference and finished their 5th losing season in a row. Now this year, they've already matched their Big East win total from last year and are coming into what some are calling the biggest weekend at Hinkle Fieldhouse in this women's basketball program history. 2 perennial powerhouses in Marquette and DePaul coming in this weekend to Hinkle Fieldhouse. Head coach Kurt Godlewski did not shy away from how big of a weekend this was. He said his players are ready, and they certainly look to be tonight. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam. Butler receiving votes in both polls and currently projected into the tournament in the latest edition of bracketology as Schickel is fouled on the first touch out of the timeout. Marte Graves will get the whistle for it. Butler has not made the NCAA tournament since 1996. That is a 23-year drought. It is certainly on the minds of fans and this program with the way this program has started, but there are still some questions as to just how good perhaps this team is this year and still can be this season. But Blair, they've answered almost every challenge. Got off to a hot start, had a humbling loss at Indiana in the non-conference schedule, but rebounded from that, and really outside of the foul trouble plague loss last week against Providence, this team has answered the bell in almost every challenge that's been thrown at them this season.
They have. They've had some statement wins. Last weekend at Creighton, a huge win, 25+ points, and Creighton beat DePaul this season. So this is just a season of anything in the Big East. I mean, you have DePaul losing to Creighton. That's just usually DePaul just has been a dominant force so far, and it just this year Butler's definitely made a statement and looking for one here tonight too.
Ball has missed its first 3 from downtown, and on cue, Tanita Allen steps up and makes the first one from distance to tie the score. Team that attempted 44 three-pointers in its loss against Seton Hall last week made just 11 of them, but the three-point numbers are gaudy if you're not familiar with the DePaul program, including leading the nation in made threes, attempts, and threes per game. They're good on defense too, and off the steal, unable to convert the other end was Sonia Morris.
Schickel had to be careful on that rebound there to avoid her 3rd foul.
Bodies scrambling. Doug Bruno wanted a call, didn't get it. Spolier soft off the glass. Good recovery by Butler after the turnover. That one rattles out from Sonia Morris, and Jennings will slow things down. Butler has valued possession this year, does not want to get into a track meet with DePaul here on a Friday night. Jennings, a little bit of space, banks in the 3. There was a whistle on the far side, I believe.
Foul on DePaul 20, Kelly Campbell.
There was a foul away from the ball while that was taking place. So Jennings banks in the 3 and away from the ball. They got Kelly Campbell with the hold.
Foul was after the shot. This will be a 2-shot foul.
It's the 5th team foul against DePaul, so already in the bonus. And the referees are going to go to the monitor and check perhaps when that foul occurred versus the shot. Butler staring at a potential 5-point play trip, but again, if the whistle was before Jennings let go of the shot, you don't have a true continuation like you would see on a driving player. But if this was ruled that the foul occurred as the shot was going up, or maybe just confirming who the foul was on. It will be 2 shots, and they confirmed it was on.
I think they were confirming
10, Lexi
the
Held.
shooter too.
Oh yeah, they were confirming who was fouled, and it is Nida Caceres.
Before the shot?
No, it was in the air.
Oh.
While the shot was in the air, officials confirm with us, and Caceres, a 57% free throw shooter, has now made it a 4-point trip for Butler, could make it 5. It's a back-breaking offensive possession if you're DePaul defensively, adding insult to injury, and Doug Bruno is going to wear out his shoes and his voice on the opposite sideline. Spoliar tying up Millender. In trouble, finally gets it ahead, but threw it too far in front for Held, who can't run it down.
Butler creating those turnovers. We don't see them press much this season, but that was effective there.
Third turnover by DePaul. And again, even though Butler turns it over 17 times, still a positive 3.4 in the turnover margin category this year, forcing 20 giveaways by Butler opponents. Largest lead of the night for Butler. Weaver had an open trip to the basket, gave it up to Kat Strong, who made easy work, and now Doug Bruno calls timeout to talk things over with his team. What a spurt here by Butler, a 9-0 run after a 6-0 run before that. That 5-point trip down the floor for Butler, and all of a sudden, Blair, this has turned into a 9-point first quarter lead, and DePaul doesn't want to see things get out of hand here early.
This is exactly what Butler has wanted to start the game. 20 points already with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tori Schickel has 2 fouls. She wasn't even in the game there, and Kat Strong was able to step up and drive. That's what her aggressiveness play is what Butler's going to need today.
Again, coming off those career-high 23 points, averaging nearly 13 a game in Big East play this year. Butler's been a good starting team much of this season thanks to a commitment to defense in the offseason. On the other side for DePaul, and one of the things that Doug Bruno talked to us about is kind of getting over some of the mental hurdles that have gotten this team. They've been a really slow starting team this year, outscored by 20 points in the first quarter of Big East games through 7 contests this season, and they're adding to that tally here, under 2 to play first quarter. Another giveaway, and Spoliar is fouled after the ball was given up by Morris.
Number 11, Sonia Morris, her first. Ball is in the bonus.
That will send Kristen Spoliar, a 79% free throw shooter, the other way for the 2-shot bonus.
Kristen Spoliar at the line, shooting 2.
It is early, Blair, but there were many questions that I think everybody across the league wanted answered in this game tonight. How real was the start for Butler? Was DePaul's 4-3 start in conference really indicative of their talent level? And through this first quarter, you're getting some answers early in this contest.
Butler is proving they belong as at the top of the Big East standings right now, and they're proving it so far. They're creating turnovers on defense. Spoliar with another steal.
Very active, took her time and weaved through the defense.
Her teammates call her a bucket getter for a reason.
5 now for Spoliar. All but one Butler player has scored, and she collapses down on the double team to tie up Grays. Possession keeps it here with DePaul, but Butler hitting all of the right notes right now here inside Hinkle.
Spoliar stepping up for the Dogs right now. She's created multiple turnovers on the last several possessions.
DePaul takes good care of the basketball, just 14 turnovers this year per game. They've already given it up 5 times here in the first quarter. Dahlman drives, lost it, 6 turnover. Butler with all sorts of numbers, Strong, a little Euro step. Couldn't add to the tally, ball hit the baseline, and will head the other way to DePaul. And Butler staying down on this end. They don't know if that ball was touched last by a Blue Demon or a Bulldog. Tom Danaher comes in to talk things over, and they'll reverse the call. 12 straight Butler points, an 18-1 run. And they've done it all with just 1 3-pointer made.
With Whitney Jennings out, Michelle Weaver's going to have to step up here and control the offense for the Dogs.
Schickel, that patented up and under hook shot, and the run continues for Butler. 25 here in the first quarter. Dahlman finally gets one to fall for DePaul to stop the bleeding. second made three for the Blue Demons. And that ball kicked away by Stonewall.
DePaul staying with their press right now, trying to speed Butler up, especially with Whitney Jennings out of the game right now.
And that pressing nature for DePaul. There are a quick defensive spurt from getting in or back into any game, as they've deflected now 3 passes in Butler's attempt to try and just get the ball inbounds and up the court.
Stonewall has very long arms, and it's going to be hard to get the ball in, especially now that Cat Strong is set there in place.
They run Bry up. And good patience to find Strong on the outlet. Hesitation up and under. And Strong, the last name, indicative of the type of play we've seen here in the first quarter.
Coach Godlewski has to love her aggressiveness continuing after last weekend into this game.
DePaul can hold for the last shot. They'll elect to take an open three, and it's a smart decision by Grace. DePaul finding the range. Weaver's going to have to heave at the horn. The only Bulldog not to score in the first quarter. Weaver can't get it to go, but an impressive offensive start nonetheless. Butler leaving little doubt in the first 10 minutes of this contest. They shoot it at 69% from the floor. Schickel with 5, Strong 6 leads the way, and it's a 10-point Dogs lead after 1.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner.
St. Vincent wants you to know that you can prevent cervical cancer.
Hey, so after that first quarter, Butler's defense has really been the thing that we've talked about so far. Defense. And Butler that's been the real big thing that's turned around this season. Michelle Weaver ranking 3rd in steals, and Butler with the nation's 4th best scoring defense. So DePaul, only 17 points so far, and some great defense play by the Bulldogs. We'll see if that keeps up throughout the game, guys.
Thank you, Sam. Kristen Spolier's 2 steals, leading the way with 4 takeaways for Butler. They forced 6 DePaul turnovers in the first quarter, but a team that a week ago had a 9-point lead against Providence and lost on the road know that no lead is safe, especially against a hot shooting at times DePaul team with Sam Wiederhaft and Blair Langlois. Will Haskett started the second quarter. Whitney Jennings had just 3 points on 2 shots for Butler in that first quarter, spreading the wealth around. Spolier missing. What does DePaul need to do to get into a rhythm? There's Weaver doing what she does best with the steal, but couldn't keep it in play.
DePaul just needs to settle down offensively and knock their shots down. They're getting great looks, and they're just going to have to get hot. They can do it.
Again, a team that in Big East play this year, on the season averaging 33% from three-point range, just 28% in the 7 games thus far in the Big East schedule for DePaul. Head coach Doug Bruno, we sort of talked to him. Do you just expect that shooting percentage to tick up? Is it more a matter of water finding its level? And he's always quick to point out that there's a reason when you don't shoot well, that it's defenses from the other team, but just expects this team to take a little bit of a mental leap. And I tell you what, Rebecca Dahlman's been inspired off the bench in this one. A drive to the hoop there. Her 3 kind of stopped things in that first quarter, and now DePaul back within single digits. She has 5 to lead the Blue Demons, along with Shantae Stonewall, who's at the front of that pressing defense. Long arms, deflecting a lot of passes.
DePaul's pressures is causing problems for Butler. Whitney Jennings is only about 5'5", and it's hard for her to see over the long arms of Stonewall.
Tough feed over the top, and Weaver did a good job falling out of bounds to throw it off the body of Maya Stovall. Weaver again tap dancing on the sideline. That's slapped away. Last touch by Shantae Stonewall. 9 to shoot for Butler. Different level of want-to from the Blue Demons out of the quarter break, and that one pilfered by Stovall. Millender in rhythm, in transition. It's suddenly a 5-point game.
Defense is just turning into offense for DePaul. They're able to get out and get those transition threes that they love.
Spolier left wide open, set the feet, got the 3 right back.
Kristen Spolier.
She's off to a hot start with 8 points already.
Stonewall answers on the other end, and now both teams finding the range. It wasn't a question of if, it was a question of when DePaul would find that shooting touch again. And Jennings double dribbled, picked it up, officials caught it. Ball back to DePaul, and they're a bucket away from making this a 1-possession game just 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Not many teams have pressed Butler this year with their experienced guards and Weaver and Jennings, so it's just tough for them right now. It's not something they're used to, but DePaul loves this pressure and loves what it does to other teams.
Gray's picked up by Jennings. That's a mismatch. But she picked up her dribble and then threw the pass too tall for Lexi Helm. That's an unforced turnover by DePaul to give the ball right back. Caceres having trouble getting it in. Jennings had Stonewall draped all over her. And now Weaver will take a turn against the pressure. Good backdoor look to Jennings. Knew the contact was coming and maybe short-armed that a bit. And the ball stays here with Butler. It has been tough sledding for Butler's leading scorer. Jennings just 1 of 3 to start this game. Spolier forcing that pass. Deflected out by Stonewall. Good set piece. Spolier, I don't know if she really had a good handle on it, but smart to go up with it with Millender draped all over.
Her second, team's first.
You can see a great cut by Spolier there to get her hands on the ball and get it up to the rim before she got fouled.
2 senior leaders with 2 fouls for DePaul. Millender just picked up her second. Kelly Campbell is on the DePaul bench with 2. Tori Schickel picked up 2 early for Butler, has played through much of it. And a dead-eye shooter, Spolier gets them both. DePaul quickly ahead, and Bad body position Lexi held was off the side of the court when she received the pass. Turnover number 8 against DePaul.
Butler tried to get Spoiler another look there after her hot start to the game so far.
Caceres left open. She traveled trying to get it down the baseline, kind of stuck in no man's land trying to make a move. Both of these teams right now, Blair, you can just see the pace and the physical nature of this game sort of taking its toll on the faces of the players.
Yeah, they're both getting up in each other's face on defense, pressuring the ball. It's very tiring for both teams to keep up this pace.
Spolier dared held to go left. Couple of looks at it by Tanita Allen. 4th time, no. 5th time, finally the charm for Shante Stonewall.
Tori Schickel's usually a little more aggressive trying to get that rebound, but she has to be very careful with those 2 fouls that Coach Godlewski is letting her play with.
Caceres thought she was fouled on the sideline, but Dahlman and company came in to close things off.
DePaul switching everything right now.
Spolier, just another strong move. She's got a look in her eye tonight that she will not be denied. 12 now for the junior.
It's hard to beat Butler when you're doing a great job on Tori Schickel and Whitney Jennings, and then you have Spoiler, who already has 12 points in the first half.
Back in for the Dogs, 23, Shea Bride.
First 3-pointer missed this quarter by DePaul. And Butler has weathered this little rally from DePaul.
Look for Butler to go long here with DePaul with 5 men up in the front court.
Schickel, good body awareness, but couldn't finish at the front of the rim.
It's a great look for her. Those are the kind of buckets she'll get all game.
Allen, strong drive, able to flip it home. Tanita Allen's had some monster games and big moments for DePaul in her career, averaging just 6 points a game this season, but her coach expects to have another one of those monster performances. Shea Bry off the bench and delivers. Caceres, good position. Jennings wants to run. As Caceres trailing, took a while to get the handle. Last touched out of bounds by Dahlman of DePaul, and Butler will get another chance at it.
Back in for the Dogs, 22, Catherine Strong. The Blue Demons, 2.
Caceres gets a hand as she leaves. Cat Strong back in for Butler. While the Bulldogs have more depth this year, Blair, than they've had the last couple of seasons, it's still really a 7-player rotation for Kurt Godlewski. He has to be diligent with who he puts in. Good hands by Millender. Jennings back there to greet her, and a beautiful understep through by Maya Stovall.
It was a great move in transition to be able to score that bucket between the defenders.
6 points for Stovall, who's been a real revelation in the starting lineup here for the Blue Demons. Allen was on the baseline as she tried to save it, and both teams completely gassed. Will walk to the huddle for a much-needed timeout. DePaul has whittled down the deficit to just 5 in a good back-and-forth affair.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't, driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com.
36-31, Butler on top here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. I want to take a moment to talk about DePaul's Big East dominance. DePaul has won every Big East regular season title since the realignment of the conference and has never lost more than 3 games in conference play. This season they come into this game with a 4-3 conference record, sitting right behind Butler and Marquette in the Big East standings. It will certainly be an uphill battle from here, but we're all aware of DePaul's clutch play in the heat of the conference schedule. And remember, guys, in 15 tries, Butler has yet to beat DePaul in this program's history. 0-15.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, 4-3 in conference play. This weekend will mark the halfway point of the Big East regular season. Jennings out of the timeout. Schickel to reset. And that one punted away. But DePaul knows that if they can find something on this road trip, the schedule really flips in the Blue Demons' favor with Marquette, Butler, some of the top teams in the Big East coming to Chicago in the second half of the season. This is a team that, while Marquette, top 10 now ranked in the country, is certainly in a position to be the top team when it's all said and done. Look, DePaul knows they still have plenty of time to get back into that top line for the rest of the second half of this season, but it starts with finding something on the road here tonight against Butler, as Weaver can't control it and turns it over. Butler now has given it away 9 times. And Blair, maybe something they've found is Maya Stovall, who is running the point now for DePaul. Did not play in either of the team's 2 games last weekend and really has been little used this season. She's got 6 points and has really been a disruptive force for DePaul in the starting lineup tonight for Doug Bruno.
Yeah, she's been quite the catalyst for DePaul. She's up guarding the ball on defense, and she's able to put the ball in the hole, which is what Coach Bruno's been looking for so far this season.
Shea Bry, too strong underneath. Both teams have combined for 19 turnovers here in the first half. Make it 20. It's the 11th giveaway by DePaul. They're 3 off of their season average with still plenty of time here in the second quarter. Butler hands it right back. Turnovers becoming contagious out of the timeout. More on Maya Stovall. Her career high, just her freshman year, was 5 points in 18 minutes worth of action against Savannah State earlier this year. And so her 6 first half points, setting a new mark as she runs the offense for the Blue Demons. She'll trigger a 3. Important 3-minute stretch coming up for both of these teams. Butler trying to maintain the edge going to the halftime locker room. DePaul, which trailed for much of this first half, with an opportunity to climb all the way back. They play off of Schickel. She got hit in the head and is still shaken up behind the play. Hit right over the bridge of her nose. Advantage for DePaul. Taken advantage of by Stonewall. It's a 2-point game, and now they'll check on Tori Schickel. May have lost a contact lens from the contact trying to go up and under. That is apparently the case. Butler has led by as many as 14 in the first half. DePaul had a 8-6 lead at the halfway mark of the first quarter before Butler would score 18 of the game's next 19 points. The Blue Demons have come almost all the way back. And they get another turnover as Jennings had it poked from behind. Stovall has been a difference maker here in the first half.
DePaul starting to find that groove that Coach Bruno was talking about earlier today.
Driving and fouled. Dee Bekelja will head to the line for a couple.
Balance on the Dogs, Michelle Weaver, her second, team's first.
So a number of these upperclassmen for DePaul, but it's
Dee Bekelja at the line.
Some of the fresh faces in the lineup for Doug Bruno that have pulled them out of this first half hole, as Bekelja could make it a tie game with 2 freebies.
Back in for the Dogs, number 10.
What has changed for Butler after building that 14-point lead?
They look rushed offensively. I think they're trying to match DePaul's tempo, and they are more of a set, slow-paced oriented team. I'm sure Coach G will talk that over at half and look to slow the ball down in the second half.
Have to survive this first half to begin with. DePaul has come all the way back to tie it up.
DePaul continues to trap all over the court, trying to get Butler to turn the ball over.
No Whitney Jennings on the floor for the Bulldogs. Spolyer's been the go-to scorer in this one. She's got a game-high 12.
DePaul's out denying the wings, which makes it tough for Butler to swing the ball and make their normal passes in their set offense.
Schickel brought the ball down, taken away. 12 turnovers now for Butler. Stovall had it taken right back and then commits the foul, just the second on DePaul here in the quarter.
That's what Michelle Weaver loves to do. She's 4th in the nation in steals. She averages almost 5 a game.
Dangerous pass behind Bry, who now has to wait for Weaver to come across the half-court stripe. And as Weaver is trying to deliver the pass, hand check called on Jolene Danninger. Doug Bruno has gone deep to the bench in this one to try and push all the right buttons. 11 different DePaul players have seen action here in the first half. And another deflection on a would-be Butler pass, and then Spolyer was undercut. Scary moment there with Marte Graves coming in underneath her.
Marte Graves, her second.
4th foul now in DePaul, so Butler in the bonus on the next whistle.
Back in for the Blue Demons, 24, Tanita Allen.
With
Schickel.
With Jennings out of the game, they're going to need Tori to step up in the post and be the offense that Butler needs right now.
That looked calm. Weaver called for the hand check on the other end. They established Schickel early in that first quarter, and they really haven't gone back to her much since. Just her 7th point. And that may have calmed things down for Butler just a bit, as both Jennings and Strong will re-enter for Butler.
Also in 22, Catherine Strong.
Well, a good discard by Held with Strong behind her, and then calmly strokes the baseline jumper, and then active hands again by Stonewall. She is such a handful there guarding the inbound.
She has great defensive pressure, getting a tip almost on every ball when she pressures it.
Allen underran Strong, but stepped on the sideline before she could secure the steal.
Butler struggles to get it in against this DePaul pressure.
Caceres called for it. Just an inch short. Under a minute to go in what has been a very entertaining first half. Zero
Lexi Held for 3.
intimidation there or questioning of that shot. Catch and shoot by Held to give DePaul the lead. That's another freshman making a play. Spolier got trapped on an island and Jennings came back to bail her out. DePaul has come all the way back to take just its 3rd lead of the night.
Butler needs a solid possession here with tough call there on Spolier.
Bowls right over Held, who took the charge.
First team's 3rd.
And all the momentum has shifted to the visitor in this one.
Back in for the Dogs.
And how about the key contributors in it? Lexi Held, freshman off the bench. Maya Stovall in the starting lineup, a freshman for DePaul. This team finding its depth here early as that ball hits the sideline with 22 to go. Traveling. 12th DePaul turnover will allow Butler to perhaps set up for the final shot of the half.
Looking for a high screen from Tori here. It's about 8 seconds to go. Whitney will go.
Schickel. Good find from Jennings. Strong gets it at the buzzer and couldn't lay it in off the steal. That would have brought this place to its feet, but as it is, it's a balanced first half between two teams fighting for position in the Big East standings. First quarter belonged to the home team. The road team came all the way back in the second quarter, and this one, 20 minutes in, has lived up to the billing. DePaul trying to extend that winning streak against the Bulldogs, has a 1-point narrow lead at the break here on the Big East Digital Network.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
To know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
and you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here, we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com.
Butler holding off DePaul in the Big East standings, trying to hold off the Blue Demons at home in a first of two really big showdowns on this January weekend. Good back and forth battle between both teams in the first half, and expect this one to go down to the wire. It has been a really interesting start to this Big East season, reaching the halfway point of conference play this weekend, and gives us a chance here at halftime to check in around the league, including a check-in with Georgetown senior Monica McNutt on this Big East women's basketball update.
We now welcome in analyst Monica McNutt. She is on the call for Sunday's DePaul Xavier game on FS2. Monica, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem, Megan. Happy to chat.
Let's start with DePaul, Monica. The Blue Demons won the Big East tournament last season. They were picked to finish at the top in the preseason coaches poll alongside Marquette. However, DePaul is 4-3 in conference play right now. What do the Blue Demons need to do to establish a rhythm moving forward?
Well, honestly, Megan, I think we're starting to see that from them. I think back to their game versus Georgetown here in D.C., where they were down double digits and managed to come back and win that ball game. I know, myself included, to a degree, folks were sort of blown out of the water a bit to see the loss to Creighton to kick off conference play. But I think it's just that, kicking off conference play. And I think you have to give them a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, the game of basketball in a game and over the course of the season is about the ebb and flow. It's a series of runs. But I think we're starting to see DePaul hit a little bit of momentum. I do think that a key to that has been their commitment on the defensive end. We know that they can score. I mean, we know they've got Grays, they've got Campbell, they've got plenty of young ladies that can score. But I think they had to be reminded of just how hard it is to win in this league and that you truly can't take anything for granted. But I think Creighton was a solid wake-up call for them.
What is the biggest difference in this year's DePaul team that you've seen in versus last year's?
The key to grasping what he's calling when he's calling it is just a degree of toughness. Now, I think that this team can get there, but I also think you got to give credit to the league. The league looks a little bit different than it did last year as well. I mean, you've got Butler and Marquette that are at the top standing right now, and they would be the teams that come to mind in terms of being in the way for a DePaul team that's trying to repeat the success they had last year.
You mentioned it right there, Monica. Butler. DePaul faces the Bulldogs on Friday. Butler has the stingiest defense in the Big East. They are leading the Big East in scoring defense. What does DePaul need to do offensively to score on Butler on Friday night?
So I am really excited for this matchup. I'm excited for the next two games that Butler has because they finished with DePaul and then they've got Marquette. I look at Coach Godleski, who truly formulated a system that would allow the players on his roster to thrive, and it has been an incredible turnaround for his program, I'm sure that you know. And then I'm looking at Coach Bruno, who is well-established in this league, who always has the horses that he needs in terms of putting players in position to be successful. This one I expect to come down to execution, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. You mentioned Butler's stingy defense. There are holes because as an offensive player, you always have the upper hand just slightly because you know what you're going to do and the defense doesn't. However, you have to pick your spots very wisely when you play Butler. You have to get into those passing lanes. You have to pick spots that make them rotate and hopefully create holes in their defense. On the other end, Butler also doesn't really get rushed in the offensive set. So as important as the defensive commitment is going to be for DePaul, they're going to have to maintain the duration of the shot clock. They're going to have to be talking, and they're going to have to clean up that side of the glass as well, because if you allow Butler to get second chance opportunities, then they really start to feel themselves.
Let's take a look a little bit more so at the middle of the league now, Monica. Georgetown, they are 3-4, a veteran team. What do the Hoyas need to do to start developing consistency moving forward?
I think we've seen some Jekyll and Hyde action out of the Hoyas. They are a team, to me, that has not quite identified this year's signature. When you talk to other coaches preparing to play Georgetown, the statement that you get is, they want to get up and down in transition. They want to play defense. They want to play ball fast. And I think that was Georgetown last year, no question. This year, I don't know that that game is benefiting Georgetown the way that it did. So I think that they're still trying to figure it out. But they just have to put two halves together would be my suggestion. The last time I saw them, they were playing Villanova, and that was truly a chess match in terms of Peretta, Howard. I mean, you got guards going at it. But Georgetown came out big in that one largely because of the performance of Dorothy Adamako. I think they've got to understand that Deanna White is circled on the scout. And so what was available to her last year may not be as available as easily. And so maybe this is a team that we see needs to slow down and execute in the half-court set as opposed to trying to get up and down because teams are well prepared for their transition game.
Who is your dark horse in the league?
Oh, man. So I haven't seen either of these teams yet in person, but I'm thinking that Seton Hall might be my dark horse. Although when I saw Providence knocked off Butler, I was like, ooh, maybe I need to pay those guys a little bit more attention as well. But I think Coach Bozzella just does a fantastic job with Seton Hall. And I know when I saw them last year a few different times, I was just sort of impressed with, again, their toughness. They seem to be really talented this year. We know Samuels had a big week coming off of an award last week. And so I think that's a team that might be able to sneak up and get some people. I kind of think that they're due. So we'll see. I would pick Seton Hall, the Pirates.
And they have that whole entire new offense in store this season that you're seeing really come to light now.
Indeed. And I think anytime a coach, there's something about the relationship when a coach goes and sets up a system that is truly for his players, right? Like, it's one thing as a player, you show up, okay, this is what we got to run. This one's my favorite play. This one may not be my favorite play. But when a coach says, hey, guys, we're going to overhaul this. We're going to play to our strengths. As a player, you're like, wow, like, not only does Coach have a tremendous commitment to win, he has a commitment to win that is catered to what I do well. And so you can't do anything but get excited about an opportunity to do something that is custom fit for you. I don't know about you, Megan, but when I get some clothes tailored or get a dress tailored and it's fit just for me, like, you get excited about that.
They are there. You're custom made. It gives you all that, the confidence. It gives you the confidence then that you can take on the world. You can take on that meeting, that game, that interview, whatever.
Exactly. And so if the overhaul of an offense is going to speak to success, we've already seen that with Butler, right? Like, they've had a complete turnaround because Coach Godleski did the exact same thing.
Now I'm going to have you choose your all Big East starting five.
All right, I do want to give this slight disclaimer in that it is a little bit of recency bias in my starting five. And this could change over the course of the season. But I got to go with Marquette, who's into the top 10, which is outstanding for Coach Carolyn Krieger and her program. Natisha Heidemann is definitely on that list. And then I've actually got Kelly Jaycott from Villanova. I just think that her skill set is a defensive problem. Like, she's just so patient, can score on the outside, can score on the inside, really has a strong grasp on the game. Then I'm going with Whitney Jennings from Butler because I think she's an outstanding point guard, and obviously you know the success that Butler is having. I could envision her playing off of Natisha Heidemann or even switching roles to a degree because Jennings also can knock down big shots. Okay. Then I'm going with Tori in the paint because I don't think that we have a big in the league that sort of matches up with her in her efficiency, Tori Butler. And then I'm wrapping this up with Marte Graves from DePaul right now. Versatile, off the bounce, can shoot, can score. Again, a little bit of a matchup problem.
You said right now. Is there someone who's kind of on the edge there who might kind of come in if they peak a little bit? So outside of Jaycott, for the most of this are teams that are performing well. I really like Dorothy Adamako out of Georgetown. I also am a big fan of Ari Gray over at Xavier. But I need to see those young ladies and their team kind of give me a little bit more consistency. And I know that's sort of a double standard because Villanova right now has some work to do in conference play. But I think Jaycott has just really established herself as a consistent threat no matter how that game goes in the league. I'm looking for some more consistency from Gray, looking for some more consistency out of Adamako. And then you got to watch Shadim Samuels over at Seton Hall as well. Monica, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great call this weekend. Thanks, Megan.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com.
Heck of a first half. DePaul leads by 1, getting set for the start of the second half with Blair Langlois. I'm Will Haskett. Sam Wiederhaft is lurking around here somewhere. What a first half, Blair. Butler runs out 14-point lead in the first quarter, forcing all sorts of DePaul turnovers. But then the freshman stepping up for the Blue Demons brought them right back in the second quarter. This has turned into quite a ball game.
Yeah, she was phenomenal in the second quarter. She was able to get steals for DePaul, was able to knock down transition threes. DePaul was able to rotate in 11 players. They're going to be fresh in the second half.
Shante Stonewall leads the way for DePaul. She had 13. Butler was balanced in scoring for much of this. Kristen Spolier had the outside shot. That was part of a 5-point odd sort of play for Butler. Whitney Jennings hit a 3 while there was a foul away from the ball, and Butler would build that 14-point lead in what was an 18-1 scoring run. But then all of a sudden, DePaul started to ratchet things up defensively. In the first quarter, it was all about Butler defensively, but then the threes started falling. DePaul shot 7 of 13 from distance. Hustle plays, little things, forcing turnovers. It looked like the Blue Demons of old in that second quarter.
Yeah, DePaul was able to bounce back and get up in Butler's face and push the tempo, and that's not what Butler wants to do.
We saw Maya Stovall, who is the freshman that came in and that started this game, has a career-high 6 points, forcing a lot of turnovers. You see Butler turned it over 13 times, as did DePaul in the first half. And then another freshman getting the act. Lexi Held hit a couple of late shots. And it wasn't until that Tori Schickel bucket near the end of the second quarter that really things settled down for Butler, you feel like, going into the halftime locker room. The stats say it all for DePaul. 7 of 13. We wondered when they would break out of a recent shooting slump. They certainly did in that second quarter. If they shoot it at that clip, they are hard to beat. 2 of 10 from distance for Butler. Do they need the threes, Blair, in the second half to compete in this one, or is it more about stopping DePaul on the defensive side?
I think they're going to have to knock down some outside shots. We saw early DePaul was triple teaming Tori Schickel. I look that they're going to go back to putting at least 2 defenders on her and force Butler to hit a shot. Shooting 20%. DePaul's going to win if they can continue having that kind of defensive stops.
And DePaul came in shooting just 28% from three-point range in Big East games, shooting at 54% in the first half, and off a game when they made 11 of 44. They took 44 three-point attempts in the loss against Seton Hall last week. They took just 13 three-point attempts in that first half, converting on 7 of them, but have a 1-point lead for a team that is accustomed to shooting way more from outside than that. Long break for a couple of the senior leaders for DePaul who start here in the second half, and Stonewall gets them started with another big 3.
They come out firing. Hinkle is a great place for shooters to shoot, and DePaul finds that out here tonight.
Stonewall a game-high 16, and that triple continues the run for DePaul to start things off here in the third quarter. Schickel backing in, Stonewall, great job to double the post. Off and running. Through the defense, couldn't get it to go was Grays, but she'll head to the line for 2. And DePaul continues to mash the accelerator to the floor out of the halftime locker room.
DePaul is looking confident coming out of half, knowing that they were able to turn around their shooting in the first half, and their defense was quite the difference.
Again, a lot on the line in this first matchup of the season between these two programs. DePaul entered the night 2 games out of second in the Big East standings that Butler currently holds. A win tonight, you're within 1, and looking right up at the top of the standings, a loss makes the mountain a little bit taller. And then again, there's that whole history. 15 meetings between these two teams all time. DePaul has won all 15.
This is a huge game for either team tonight. DePaul wants to jump back up in the standings, and Butler wants to continue their season and get that first win over DePaul.
Largest lead of the night for the Blue Demons, halved by Whitney Jennings. It was really forced right out of the game in that first half. Long pass, maybe led the player too far, but then Campbell is fouled underneath, and they're going to get Spolier with it. That's 2 quick pickups by Kristen Spolier. She now has 3 personals. So Spolier and Weaver each with 3, Schickel with 2, as fouls start to play a bigger role in this one. Traveling called against Millender. What a huge shot by Jennings the last time down. Try and settle things in, first bucket of the half. Strong, oh, beautiful spin, and how about the control to finish?
That was a great move by Strong between the 2 defenders. She continues to dominate down in the paint.
Strong drive, but Grays was too strong on it. Strong got poked in the eye, and the officials recognized to call a quick timeout. Second Bulldog that's taking a shot right to the face. Schickel lost a contact lens late in the second quarter.
Back in for DePaul, number 0.
Strong will come out. Shea Bry is in for Butler. Boy, an important couple of offensive possessions there by Butler to get back within 1 after DePaul tried to take control here in the third quarter.
Butler was able to catch their breaths in the locker room, only playing 7 in the first half compared to DePaul's 11. We'll see how their endurance will go throughout the game.
Weaver runs off the screener, but couldn't find Spolier coming around on the set piece. 10 to shoot. Good, strong drive. Spolier did everything but finish.
Another good look by DePaul. They're able to complete passes around the perimeter until they want to take that open 3 they're looking for.
Kurt Godlewski barking to slow things down for Butler. Work the offensive set. Jennings a speed mismatch.
Here comes the double team from DePaul. Schickel has a mismatch if they could get the ball to her.
They couldn't. Weaver hopped through the defense with the shot clock winding down. Millender, well, that rhythm 3 looks so good halfway down. Campbell right over the back of Spolier and kept it in play. Millender drives between 2 defenders and was bumped in the path. They'll get Shea Bry with the foul. That is her first.
Shea Bry, her first, team's 3rd. Back into the game for DePaul, 24-10.
3 quick fouls by Butler here in the third quarter against one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. Eyeing the bonus early on. Wild up and under by Dahlman. He retreated to at least poke it away, and that allowed DePaul to set up the full court pressure.
Substitution for the Blue Demons to Maya Stovall.
There's the freshman Stovall in for her first bit of run here in the third quarter.
Butler's changed up their inbounder. You can see Whitney Jennings taking the ball out now as opposed to Shea Bry.
But Stonewall still so disruptive. Just made contact with the baseline. She presents such an incredible matchup issue. 6'1", long wingspan, and just gobbling up Jennings, trying to pass that ball in. And then immediately swarms whoever grabs it. Weaver trying to step through, tied up, and the possession error will keep it with Butler. How does Butler try and answer Shantae Stonewall's defense there at the front of that press?
It's going to be hard for them. They want Whitney to throw the ball, and they're trying to get it back to her right off the inbound, but DePaul's doing a great job, especially when she's set in her feet. She can't move, which allows Stonewall to jump up and make the pass nearly impossible for Whitney Jennings.
Spolier came to the relief as Campbell fell down, and then Stonewall commits the foul behind.
Now on the Blue Demons, 42, Shantae Stonewall.
Second on the Blue Demon junior.
Her second, team's first.
She's been the most pivotal performer for DePaul here tonight. That would be the one that if Butler was trying to attack somebody would be an obvious choice. Shea Bry showing her versatility, bringing the ball across. Schickel right at Stonewall in the soft touch.
Great move. She's able to beat that double team before it could even get there, right over her left shoulder.
First leads. It's a minute and a half to go, second quarter for Butler.
You can see Michelle's pressure on the ball. Weaver's doing a great job trying to get Campbell to throw the ball away.
Tanita Allen, little contact there. Somehow Stovall came out with the offensive rebound, and the possession will stay here. Smallest player on the court in 5'7" freshman Maya Stovall. For DePaul. Kept that possession alive.
22, Catherine Strong for Michelle Weaver. Back in for the Blue Demons, 10, Lexi Hell.
Great set to get Millender wide open, and another three buried.
Ashton Millender.
Beautiful set by DePaul there out of bounds to get her open.
Millender 2 of 4 from deep. Strong answers on the other end to tie things up. Stovall, that was not what the offense needed for DePaul, but Schickel couldn't corral it off the block. Dangerous cross court, but somehow held, found Millender, who buries another one.
Ashton Millender for 3.
She's starting to feel it here for the DePaul here in the second half.
Schickel was wide open under the basket. Spolier couldn't find her. And now Stovall fouls Schickel on the attempted rebound.
Fouls on 2,
that will lead to a timeout as both teams look gassed heading to the huddle. But DePaul has continued its hot shooting here in the second half. Now 10 of 18 from distance, 3 of 5 in the quarter, and maintaining the narrowest of leads.
We're doers.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
52-49, DePaul leads this one at Hinkle Fieldhouse. You see number 20, Kelly Campbell, on the court. She was actually just named earlier this week for a John Wooden Citizen Cup Award as a semifinalist. She's spent time her past 2 summers working in fields in Guatemala and the Dominican Republic, working with at-risk children, teaching them basketball, doing other activities, and she's finally being recognized for it. Head coach Doug Bruno says she'd probably hate that we're talking about her right now. She does not really take any recognition for these activities, doesn't really take any credit hours, just does what she's doing, and she's the next in line of Coach Doug Bruno's players to do this kind of service. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Definitely a part of the fabric of the program that Doug Bruno has established in 33 years. As Lexi Held commits the foul out of the timeout, trying to find Kristen Spolier. Down low was Butler. A program rooted in service. In fact, the one returning starter for DePaul that graduated last year, Lauren Prochaska, is on the bench for DePaul in a role specifically designed for community and service outreach within the program. So they put their hard work right to what they believe in. As Kat Strong with a good turnaround gets Butler within 1 out of the timeout. Another three-pointer. That one misses everything. A rare miss for DePaul, which again had struggled shooting the 3 of late in the Big East, but has broken out of it in a big way here tonight. Will it be enough to win the game is still the question that is unanswered, as Schickel is fouled from behind by Grays. That's 4 team fouls now on DePaul here in the quarter.
Fouls on 35, Marte Grays, her 3rd, team's 4th. Back in for the Blue Demons, 0, Rebecca Delman, and 22, Shantae Stonewall.
Short-lived break for Shantae Stonewall, who's back in for DePaul. She has been a real difference maker and picks up Schickel here on defense. Strong got it back in rhythm, but was way too strong with the shot. And Schickel threw it away. Millender the trailer. Campbell instead reverses. Dahlman. Spolier's going to need an ice tub bath after the end of this one. She is bruised and battered, and Strong calls for time. I think as she jumped for that one, may have cramped up a bit. And that timeout taken by Butler will allow them to bring, it looks like, Caceres in, but Strong hasn't moved off the spot after she came down. And Butler can't afford Blair to really lose any more players. Again, really just 7 deep with injuries, unavailability of players. The team that was probably looking at the beginning of the year of being maybe 9, dare I say 10 players deep after really playing with a short roster the last couple of seasons. But as this successful season has continued to progress, they've started to lose bodies.
That's right. Having injuries this is not good for Butler. They're only playing 7. Kat Strong's having a great game. She has 12 points. She's been quite the threat for Butler offensively.
And you see Coach Kurt Godlewski and the brain trust there trying to draw up what's going to be the success here on this play. In his 5th season, Godlewski has found a way to push all the right buttons, and the story really kind of becoming more of a, especially locally in Indianapolis, but even nationally, how this team is built to it. Coach Godlewski really kind of blew things up the last couple of seasons, not just from a staff standpoint, but then even how this team was going to play, the buy-in it was going to take defensively this year. And everybody in that huddle, including Whitney Jennings, really the spark plug and the emotional captain of this team, has bought into what it has taken to win this year, and boy, have they won in a big way.
That's right. They spent the entire offseason focusing on their defense, and you can see this season they are doing an incredible job keeping the opponent to a low-scoring mark. You can see when they're on the court, they're constantly forcing baseline. You can see Tori Schickel, the last possession, forcing Grays to go baseline where she knows there's help.
And that defense, the reason why they're 4th best in the country, surrendering just 52 points per game. But if you look at the score right there, DePaul has already hit that number. We said something was going to have to give in this game. Butler wanted this game played in the 50s and the 60s. DePaul wants to get this game up into the upper 70s and 80s. DePaul right now has dictated the tempo of this game, but should they be concerned that Butler's hanging right there with them?
I think they knew Butler can score. Butler has 7 threats that they know can all make shots, and that's what makes Butler so dangerous. But DePaul knows their tempo can win games.
Took a while for Strong to get to the bench. They're working on her now, eating a banana as well, trying to get the potassium in as quickly as possible. But she has been a valuable contributor tonight, tied for a team high with 12 points with Kristen Spolier. Whitney Jennings has just 6. She's only attempted 5 shots. They've taken her out of the game. You would expect to get a little bit more out of your 15-point-a-game scorer, and they may need her in a bigger way here with Strong on the bench and questionable, I guess you would say, maybe to return with those cramps.
Butler is going to need her down the stretch, and they're going to look for Whitney Jennings to make those tough shots when they need it.
Bry then rolls her ankle, trying to get around the body of Tanita Allen, who is called for the foul. It'll be a 2 free throw bonus situation for Shea Bry, but she's in tears on the floor after rolling her ankle with the contact with Allen.
She looks like she's in pretty extreme pain, and this is not good for the Dogs. They can't have 2 people go out back-to-back.
Spolier right off the bench, back in. Strong sits on the bench with cramps. Brian, obvious discomfort. You take another look at her. Oh yeah, just rolled it right over. She tried to make that pivot. Spolier will shoot the 2 free throws for her. It's a pretty fair trade for Butler. 79% free throw shooter replacing a 61% free throw shooter to tie the game. Butler may have its 5 for the rest of the game on the floor right now with 13.5 minutes to play.
Butler's going to have to dig deep. They have 2 post players that just went out, and they're going to need to rebound and box out every possession from here on out.
Wild drive by Dahlman, but she got her own miss and will head to the line for 2.
Foul on the Dogs, 10, Nida Caceres.
Nida Caceres nailed with the personal. Just her first, which is a good sign for Butler fans because everybody else on the floor right now. Weaver with 3, Spolier with 3. Schickel has managed to play pretty clean after picking up 2 early fouls. And Dahlman ties it again. 15th tie score of the evening.
Blue Demons substitution, 11, Sonia Morris. For 24, Tanita Allen.
2 free throws from the senior Dahlman. We've gone to Weaver back on the inbounds. Jennings picks it up 94 feet away. And good patience by Butler.
Butler's going to have to settle down here. Good look into Schickel.
Looked like it was going to be too strong, but Schickel now has 13.
Butler.
Pass thrown right behind, and another turnover by DePaul gives it right back.
You could see Butler switch to a 2-3 zone right there, knowing that they're small inside and they cannot afford to give up those offensive rebounds.
Morris threw the pass and then immediately gets a seat on Doug Bruno's bench. DeBekelja back in for the Blue Demons.
Butler back to the same set they were, where they just got Schickel an easy look inside last possession.
Stonewall this time denies the post. Still plenty of time to shoot for Butler. Again, those long arms of Stonewall poking that one away, but Schickel recovered quickly, and Jennings did a good job to pick it up and keep the play alive. Two straight baskets for Butler. And a timeout called by Doug Bruno. Doesn't like the movement on the offensive end. Burns a quick 30-second timeout to get Marty Grays back on the floor and set the offense.
I think Butler's 2-3 zone had DePaul rattled there. They weren't quite sure what offense they wanted to run.
What a chess match this is also turning into. You've got Butler trying to manage possessions. DePaul wants to get out and force things. Shots are finally falling for the Blue Demons, but turnovers have become a problem. Both coaches certainly earning their keep tonight with the way they've had to adjust in this game.
That's right. Both teams, Butler's up to 17 turnovers. DePaul has 16. It's been quite the turnover game. Both coaches do not want to force that many turnovers for the other team, but they're going to have to settle in here, and Butler is able to keep DePaul not scoring very many points in this third quarter.
Back in for DePaul, 35, Marty Grays.
Butler goes back out of that 2-3. Huge mismatch down low. Jennings trying to front Grays, and they couldn't get for the basketball. Stonewall now finally delivers. 3 to shoot. Campbell has to heave. Prayer will not be answered. Shot clock violation for DePaul.
That was some great defense by Michelle Weaver. She is their defensive catalyst and will look to get stops for Butler down here in the second half. Butler settling in here and how to defeat that DePaul pressure.
Certainly look calmer than they did when they faced it in the second quarter. Trying to open up their largest lead of this second half. Jennings. Oh, what a beautiful touch with a 15-foot floater. DePaul has gone 3.5 minutes without a bucket. Grays, Schickel just pulled the chair on her for another DePaul turnover.
Tori Schickel can be a little more aggressive now that she's made it almost 3 quarters with those 2 fouls.
Great backdoor look. Spolier underneath and one.
That was a great look by Michelle Weaver. Butler loves going to this backdoor play in the third quarter.
Beautiful set play. Weaver drawing the defense in. And Butler, a mash unit right now, injury-wise, riding with the 5 on the floor in the midst of an 8-0 run. What a seesaw affair as Spolier now has a game-high 17. Butler owned the first, and it appears the third quarters as Weaver forces the steal. Running with Schickel. Goes through the defense to finish.
Another beautiful basket and steal by Michelle Weaver, doing what she knows best.
Plus 11 this quarter for Butler. Stonewall wasn't set for that 3, but Millender was there for the putback, and that snaps. An 11-0 Butler run.
DePaul has only scored 4 points here in this third quarter.
Dangerous pass. Caceres didn't come to the ball. 7 left to shoot it. Jennings.
That was a huge shot for Jennings there before the end of the third quarter.
Big basket after big basket for Butler down the stretch. Equal their largest lead of the second half. And Jennings was not going to wait for the horn. 10 minutes to go in what has been a great back and forth between DePaul and Butler.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com.
A game that has lived up to the billing through 30 minutes. Butler goes on a 14-2 run to close things out in the third quarter. They lead by 11 heading to the fourth with Blair Langlois and Sam Wiederhaft. I'm Will Haskett. A look at some of the third quarter offensive explosive highlights for Butler. Kristen Spolyer's and one, a big part of it. Defense leading to offense. Michelle Weaver, who has 2 steals in this game and got into the scoring act with that bucket. And then Whitney Jennings, cold-blooded from deep at the end of that third quarter. Butler led by as many as 14 in the first quarter, gave it all away in the second, have built an 11-point lead and are 10 minutes away from beating DePaul for the first time in program history. But it will be a long 10 minutes, Blair Langlois, as we see DePaul coming out with that intensity. Jennings could not connect on back-to-back shots from behind the arc. And now here comes DePaul, but Caceres read that pass from Stovall.
DePaul is not going to go down easy in this fourth quarter. They're going to give everything they have because that's what Coach Bruno expects of them.
Again, Butler now without the services of Shea Bry, who is wrapped with an ice pack on her ankle on the bench. Kat Strong exited with cramps in the third quarter. Her return is questionable. The 5 on the floor will likely finish it for Butler as Caceres had no legs on that shot from the corner. Stonewall has 16, Millender 11, the 2 in double figures for DePaul. Deep range 3, missed by Millender, who's now 3 of 6 from behind the arc.
DePaul's going to need to knock down some outside shots to get them back on pace here.
Butler trying to take the air out of the basketball. Caceres just barely avoided a 5-second call, and then Stovall fouls Jennings. Fourth on the freshman, who has given head coach Doug Bruno an extra wrinkle in this game. She exits, and Campbell quickly back in. Naida Caceres, the 6'1" redshirt sophomore from Spain. A lot of the ball handling duties here against the DePaul pressure in the second half. Schickel out of a triple team. Spun herself into position and then had it ripped away by Campbell. Good reflexes by Spolier. Butler looked tentative after they built that 14-point lead in the first half. What do they need to do to protect a big lead here in the second half?
They got to keep the pedal down and keep knocking down shots, staying aggressive on offense and defense, continuing to get stops and boxing out.
Breather for Caceres, as Strong is back in, but we will see what she has in the legs. Dahlman, step out three, big bucket as Spolier was late. That's the danger of a team that makes more threes per game than any team in the country. They're on their season average, Blair, of 11.
That's right. That's what gets them back in ball games. Those quick threes will add up. You can see Butler's continuing trying to get that ball into the paint. Staying with 4 guards wide.
Double immediately came. Weaver couldn't shoot him out of the trap. And Strong, after running down that rebound, is now limping coming up. Dahlman pull up 3. That was maybe ill-advised. And now Butler can try and work more clock. Every possession is going to be ticking down, you would imagine, for Butler. Good seal by Strong against Allen. Senior picks up the foul. But Strong is walking so gingerly for Butler. You just wonder how long Kurt Godlewski can trust to keep her out on the floor with those cramps.
Yeah, she's giving it the best she can. She knows her team needs her and how important this game is.
Her strength, such an advantage. Tried to draw contact and just somehow shot put that one in. That's all guts from Kat Strong. Dahlman poked away by Jennings. The official will come in to talk things through and switch the call. That's the proper one. It was underneath. I don't think Norma Jones saw the hand of Jennings poke that one away. And Strong indeed exits after the bucket with Caceres back in. Kurt Godlewski pleading no threes for his defensive troops. And Caceres with contact against Grays. Maybe over pursuit on the perimeter is going to open up some things here for DePaul.
Yeah, DePaul knows Butler wants to chase them off that line. That was a great pump fake and drive to the basket.
Marte Grays, a good free throw shooter, 80% on the year. Averaging a team best 14 points a game in Big East play. Held to just 7 so far tonight. Weaver used her speed to get free, and Spolier somehow found a passing lane to get out of harm's way.
Whitney Jennings wants to slow this game down for the Bulldogs.
Great look down low. Weaver drew the defense, and Caceres slipped in behind.
You can see how much different Butler's offense is in the second half with the 2 injured post players. They're going 4 out wide, trying to penetrate and get stuff going in the basket.
21 turnovers now for DePaul. Throw over the top. Weaver had to wait to get to it, and then Campbell fouled her trying to reach in for it. You said earlier, over the top may be an option for Butler. That's the first time they've tried it.
That's right. They're ready in the fourth quarter. They know they got to do what it takes to win, and an easy 2 is what they were looking for there. The pass just wasn't quite there.
There's 21 turnovers, a season high for DePaul as Spolier breaks free on the inbound. Butler back up a dozen. Stonewall quickly gets it back to single digits. Better rip it away from Weaver, and as she stepped through, traveled.
Stonewall has just been the difference tonight for DePaul. She has 19 points. She's a defensive monster. She's on the ball, pressuring, creating turnovers, just created another one there for the Blue Demons.
Millender off a nice screen makes it back-to-back triples for DePaul, and the Blue Demons are within 6. "13 three-pointers for DePaul. 4th foul against DePaul. Butler will be in the bonus on every whistle the rest of the way.
That is huge for Butler. If they keep attacking DePaul's defense, they're going to get to the line and be able to get those easy free throws.
Spolier drives, had the middle of the lane if she wanted, instead forced it through Campbell. Millender thought about the 3. Great find out. Allen, that would have been huge for DePaul, but Millender gets a reset.
Those extra possessions down the stretch here might be the difference for DePaul.
Campbell turns, found space, and hits. A 1-possession game. Dangerous pass across the court. Weaver looks up as a 3-on-1 now. Waits, Caceres up and under, and that snaps a 9-0 DePaul run, and a quick timeout called by Kurt Godlewski to try and set the defense and give his team a much-needed break with limited bodies. This one coming all the way down to the wire. DePaul has found its shooting touch back into the game late on a Friday night.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We aren't just dreamers. We're doers.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good things happen when you unleash a Butler Bulldog.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
75-70, Butler has the lead, 4:23 left in the game. And the top three leading scorers for DePaul, 3 of the top 4, Chanty Stonewall, 19 points, Marty Graves with 8, and Ashton Melender with 14. And that's been the story really all season. Those 3 players leading a balanced offensive attack, with each player shifting off, leading the team in points each game. So down by 5, 4:23 left in the game. We'll see if those 3 players can lead this clutch comeback for the Blue Devils.
Thank you, Sam. 14 of 30 is DePaul from three-point range, 47%. Their season average 33, and in Big East play just 28. They have broken out of a shooting slump here tonight, but still trail by 5. Butler looking for stops. Good look for Stonewall, and she has been unconscious tonight. Now 5 of 6 from range, 22 is a game high.
She's been the difference in this game for DePaul. She's stepping up in the big moments when they need her.
And Butler lucky that Weaver was fouled by Allen on that dangerous inbound. That is the 5th team foul against DePaul, and will send Michelle Weaver, a 63% free throw shooter, the other way for 2.
Michelle Weaver shooting 2.
Kat Strong has massaged the cramps out on the Butler bench as that ball flirts with going down and teases the good crowd inside Hinkle Fieldhouse. And Weaver missed them both in a 2-point game. Butler led by as many as 11 here in the second half. A 3 by DePaul could give them the lead. Strong got too much of the body of Gray's. 2nd team foul against Butler in the quarter.
22, Catherine Strong, her 2nd, team 2nd.
Good look, but Grays couldn't really get a good handle on it. Volleys right out the Stonewall, and why not?
Chanty Stonewall for 3.
There she is again, creating turnovers. Just hit that 3 and just got that tip in off Butler.
25 points for Chanty Stonewall. She's forced 4 steals, and then bucket by Tanita Allen grows the lead for DePaul, who scored 8 straight. Spolier is tackled behind by Campbell, and Butler will get free throws going the other way to try and stop this 8-0 spurt.
Free throws are going to be crucial down the stretch for both teams. We know DePaul's a great free throw shooting team, and Butler's going to have to step up to the line and knock them down here.
For Chanty Stonewall, the 25 points matches her season high that she had against Syracuse back on November the 24th. Allen has come up hobbling for DePaul after making that last bucket. The 6 3-pointers made by Stonewall is a season high. Shot it well last weekend, including 4 of 6 against St. John's. But every shot tonight has been with confidence for the 6'1" junior. Now they will carry Allen off. Both teams losing bodies left and right in this game. Allen exits for DePaul. Shea Bry's already out for Butler with a right ankle injury. Kat Strong's limping around out there with cramps for Butler. And in a game where there has been 9 lead changes, 16 ties, Butler is led by double figures in each half before DePaul has come back. Kristen Spolier gets him back within 2. What does Butler need defensively on the other end?
They're going to have to get stops by pressuring the ball, keeping DePaul off that 3-point line, and boxing out to finish the possession.
In a 2-point game, Butler is 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the 4th quarter. Weaver got a fingernail on it.
Butler's going to have to defend DePaul here on their quick passes and movement around the perimeter, trying to get that open shot they're looking for.
Dahlman with the size advantage against Jennings. Couldn't get rid of her, but a great pass to Campbell. Ball tipped out, and Millender resets.
That's that offensive rebound that Butler cannot have trying to get back into this game.
Dahlman too quick to act, and the turnover gives it right back to Butler. Good patient passing between Weaver and Jennings to break the pressure. Strong right down the baseline, had the rim in front of her and couldn't finish. Dahlman hits the deck, and her coach is there to bail her out as Doug Bruno charges in to call timeout.
DePaul timeout.
And now Strong again, wincing in agony on the court as that tumble backwards has her cramped up again. And anybody that's competed knows that feeling. It's been a gutty effort for her to fight through it. Caceres will be back in for her at the completion of this timeout.
You hate to see that for Kat Strong. She's having a really great game, and it's really frustrating as a player to have cramps and not be able to play when you know you want to be out there for your team.
You can see there wasn't even the motion of going down. It was just trying to refire to get back up to it, and then stretching out of it has been the worst part of it for her. Butler has weathered through the injuries in this one about as well as you would consider, seeing as how this is a back and forth, really taxing game physically. And they've been playing with 5.5 bodies for most of the second half. We'll have to defend against DePaul with 19 on the shot clock after the timeout. As you saw just sort of incidental contact between both players, and Dahlman with no escape valve there. Doug Bruno came in to call the timeout. 1 timeout remaining for the Blue Demons, 2 for Butler. Right now the Butler concern, more than even just Strong being on the court, is how to get stops and now find a way to score on the other end. Strong missing that wide open layup, certainly not helping things last time down, which could have tied the game.
Yeah, it was a great attack by Strong. Unfortunate she was unable to make it, but that's what Butler needs, that aggressive play in the last 2 minutes. They're able to get a stop, and they just got to be able to convert on the other end.
And a longer timeout than 30 seconds because of the Strong injury.
Gives the players some time to catch their breath. Much needed after this up and down game.
Butler likely going down to just 5 bodies the rest of the way. Strong's inability to really get off the floor, but you're right, has at least allowed them a chance to try and gain a little bit of strength for the final 2.5. Trainer's asking her to just try and put some weight and walk into it, just to stretch the muscle out and get it moving a little bit. Quite a gutty effort as she receives some applause as she takes her time getting off the court. DePaul's possession, though, out of this timeout, Blair, and the way that they have shot the ball, 50% from three-point range, 16 of 32 in this game. You can see the confidence with every offensive possession for the Blue Demons, finding really what makes this team go, makes this team run. How do they look to exploit that advantage in the final 2.5 of this game?
DePaul has found their flow again in this game. They've struggled recently, but shooting like this gives those shooters so much confidence. They're going to continue to look to attack, to create those open shots, and opportunities for their teammates while also attacking and looking for easy opportunities inside.
So Strong safely off the court. And Butler with foul trouble early in this game. Not as much of a concern late. 3 fouls each on Michelle Weaver and Kristen Spolier, but the 5 on the floor look to be the 5 finishing it for the Bulldogs in this one. Millender, good patient dribbling. Schickel affected that shot.
DePaul also has to be careful. They have 2 people with 4 fouls in this game with their pressure that they like to get up with. They're just going to have to be careful here late with 2 minutes left.
Again, Butler in the bonus with 2 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Schickel immediately doubled. Couldn't find an outlet for the pass. 5 to shoot. Weaver's going to have to heave. Goes through the lane. Cut a piece of the rim with that left-handed shot. But DePaul a good 30-second defensive hold. Grays, great pen hesitation underneath. Schickel commits the foul, and Grays with a chance at a 3-point play.
Great attack by Grays. She just continues to put her head down and attack the rim and get that basket.
Marte Grays at the line, shooting 1.
Good second half for the senior Marte Grays. She's in double figures now. That her 11th point. 5-point lead. And Butler cannot afford to pound the air out of the basketball now, down 2 possessions. Spolier tied up, possession arrow will give it back to DePaul.
That really hurts the Dogs there. Kristen thought she got fouled, but jump ball, and it goes back over to DePaul.
DePaul head coach Doug Bruno said that this team needed to get its heads right. Made lineup changes. It was freshmen early. It's been the seniors late. Perhaps this is the performance that gets them all together in unison. Dahlman diving for it. Good job by Jennings to poke it away, but Stonewall retreats.
You can tell how much both teams want the ball right now. Michelle Weaver, Dahlman on the floor for the ball.
Stonewall, it's been a career night, but she gives it up there. Spolier ahead of the pack. No one will chase her down. 1 minute to go, 1 possession game. And a timeout given to Butler with 60 seconds remaining. We'll step aside with it as well. Butler has gotten within a possession, need a big defensive hold, trying to end an endless drought against DePaul late in the 4th quarter.
Here, we do what others don't.
Dream what others won't. Driven to leap forward, determined to always give back.
Here, we work where giants have played, where the connection of work and ethic is made.
A diverse community possessed with a passion
to know and grow and go and show the world we are prepared to change it. Here, we ask what must be done, for in doing we learn and earn success.
And you can get there from here.
DePaul University. Here we do.
And for the Dogs, 25, Ellen Ross.
1 possession game, DePaul basketball. Butler picking up full court to try and draw some turnovers, and Jennings read it but couldn't corral it.
She's so close, you could tell the frustration on her face because she knew she had an easy bucket if she got that steal.
Ellen Ross, a freshman, in for the first time for Butler at the front of that zone. Campbell can't move and finds Grays. Gets it right back to the senior. Millender now brings it up, and Ross commits the foul against Ashton Millender, a 72% free throw shooter. And DePaul, the 7th best free throw shooting team in the country, is 1 foul away from being in the bonus. Butler using its foul to give.
Butler can play the possession out here for a stop.
Campbell has been quiet, just 3 points tonight for the first team All Big East performer. Dahlman looking for room down the lane, drew contact, and a block on Michelle Weaver will send Rebecca Dahlman to the line. to try and make it a 2-possession lead.
That was a great attack there by Dahlman. She knows it's late in the shot clock, and the best thing to do is get something going towards the basket.
Rebecca Dahlman at the line.
Rebecca Dahlman, the transfer from Vanderbilt, missed all of last year with an injury. Fought her way back into playing shape and to make an impact this year. And one of several players this coaching staff for DePaul highlighted as one they're looking to step forward into a role in this one, and Dahlman makes 2 big free throws there to make it a 5-point edge, and Butler uses its final timeout. They will advance it past half court. Big opportunity for a defensive stop that Butler couldn't get there, and now all of a sudden pretty tall task in front of them, down 5 with 32 2/10.
Yeah, Coach Godlewski's going to look to draw something up very quickly in the first couple seconds, something going to the basket. He's likely going to look for Tori Schickel, his senior, or Whitney Jennings to get something for the Dogs here quickly.
Butler's led by the 22 of Kristen Spolier. Unlike DePaul, who has shot it well from 3-point range, it has been a substandard performance for Butler in this one. 4 of 17 from 3-point range, just 24%. They've missed all 4 of their looks from 3-point range here in the 4th quarter. Tori Schickel has had her moments, but they have had come too far in between at times. She will trigger the inbound pass as Butler sets the offense. Caceres back in for Ross. And DePaul with that senior or upperclassman-led roster on the floor to try and close this one out. Jennings met by the taller Stonewall.
There's that play right to Tori Schickel. Let's see if she can capitalize.
Out of her range, trying to fade away with the left hand. Butler's going to have to give up a foul. They do against Millender. And DePaul is 20 seconds away from weathering a really good storm from Butler to perhaps turn the tide of their season around in the Big East.
This is a tough for the Bulldogs. They have 20 seconds to give it all they have. They fought so hard in this game to try to get that first win against DePaul.
DePaul 14 of 15 from the line tonight as a team, and they have made all 10 of them count here in the second half. And that might be the one that does it. 7-point lead, 3-possession game. Butler had leads of 14 in the first half and 11 in the second half. But DePaul using a deeper lineup, spurned by freshmen, come all the way back in this one. Graves gets the rebound. She's tied up, and this one is all but over as DePaul will extend its winning streak against Butler to 16 in all 16 matchups between the two teams. And what a gut check for a team that wanted to learn about itself, to find ways to win games, to have that mental edge. Not once but twice, Blair, they come back in this game and get contributions from pretty much every spot up and down the roster.
Yeah, they've shown true toughness tonight. They're able to battle back, backs against the wall, and get that victory they've been looking for.
Doug Bruno said this was a team that just needed to find players to step up, needed to get mentally sound to enter the second half of the season, and this is a huge re-establishing type of victory for DePaul, who comes behind from double-digit deficits twice in the game to win going away. A huge road win for the Blue Demons, and a tough one to swallow for Butler, which had its opportunities multiple times in this game to get a signature win.
That's right. They were so close, and I know they will know it. But DePaul was just the better team tonight, knocking down those threes and the defensive toughness they had.
A career night from Shantae Stonewall, who matches a career high with 25 points for DePaul and sets a new career best with 6 3-pointers. It was her defense as well. And how about the freshmen? Maya Stovall, Lexi Held, and others stepping up big for DePaul. Whitney Jennings and company had shots at moments, but not the shots when it mattered most. Butler falls to 6-2 in the Big East, and DePaul right back in the mix with a huge road win here in the Big East. For Blair Langlois and Sam Wiederhaft, I'm Will Haskett saying so long from Hinkle Fieldhouse. DePaul the winner tonight in big style.
Thank you for attending tonight's game. Our final